When giving up isn't an option, the power of persistent growth. The moment you decide to stop quitting on yourself is the moment your entire life transforms. I recently had the privilege of interviewing Tamika Brown, a true force of nature, whose insights on resilience have fundamentally changed how I view persistence. What makes Tamika extraordinary isn't just her own journey of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's how she's dedicated her life to illuminating the path for others. Her wisdom, forged in the fires of her own challenges, has created ripples of transformation across communities that once felt forgotten. Her philosophy forms the backbone of what I'm about to share with you today. Have you ever stood at the edge of your dreams, staring into the abyss of possibility, and thought, maybe this isn't for me? That voice, that whisper of doubt that creeps in when the road gets rocky. We've all heard it. Some of us have listened to it. But what if I told you that voice is lying to you? What if the very moment you feel like giving up is actually the universe's way of asking, how badly do you want this? When Tamika Brown speaks about persistence, she doesn't romanticize the struggle. Let's be honest, there's nothing particularly glamorous about gritting your teeth through pain, is there? She acknowledges the brutal reality that growth is uncomfortable, inconvenient, and sometimes downright painful. But she also illuminates a profound truth. On the other side of that discomfort lies everything you've ever wanted. Let me tell you about Tamika Jones from New Orleans. Here's a woman who didn't just face obstacles, she faced a system that wasn't designed for her success as a Black female entrepreneur. Limited capital, limited resources, limited belief from others that she could make it in a competitive market. But Tamika, and I love this about her story, refused to internalize those limitations. It would have been so easy, so understandable, even to look at the landscape and say, this mountain is too high. Instead, she did something remarkable. Instead of accepting the narrative that success wasn't for people like her, she got creative. She built community networks when traditional doors remained closed. She sought mentorship from established business leaders who initially didn't see her potential. She invested in herself through workshops when nobody else would invest in her. Today, Tamika's businesses don't just thrive, they celebrate the vibrant culture of New Orleans while creating jobs for her community. Her success isn't measured solely in profit margins, but in the ripple effect of possibility she's created for others. When one person in a marginalized community breaks through, they create a crack in the ceiling that lets light in for everyone else. When I asked Tamika Brown about stories like Tamika's, she said something that stopped me in my tracks. Persistence isn't just about personal victory, it's about expanding what's possible for everyone around you. Think about that for a moment. Your refusal to give up isn't just about you, it's about the invisible thread connecting your journey to countless others who are watching, wondering if they should keep going too. I want to be clear about something. Persistence isn't the same as toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's not about plastering a smile over your pain. It's about acknowledging the reality of your situation while refusing to be defined by it. This brings me to Tamika Williams, a food entrepreneur whose journey online exemplifies this distinction perfectly. When Tamika started sharing food reviews, she faced both external skepticism about her brand and the internal battle of imposter syndrome. The online space can be particularly brutal. Comment sections aren't exactly known for their compassion, are they? They're more like psychological fight clubs where kindness goes to die. But here's where Tamika's story gets interesting. Instead of creating a polished, perfect persona, she did something radical. She got real. She shared her doubts. She talked about the days when she questioned everything. She let people see the messy middle of building something from nothing. And a funny thing happened. The very vulnerability she feared would make her look weak became her superpower. People didn't just follow her for food recommendations, they followed her because they saw themselves in her journey. Her transparency about setbacks alongside successes created a community bound together by authentic struggle. Today, major brands collaborate with Tamika, and she mentors aspiring entrepreneurs. But she'll be the first to tell you none of that would have happened if she'd quit when the algorithm wasn't favoring her, when the comments were harsh, or when self doubt was screaming louder than her ambition. As Tamika Brown emphasized in our interview, there's always more to learn and experience if you stay in the game long enough. This truth extends beyond entrepreneurship into every aspect of our lives. Whether it's love, learning, or self discovery, the journey never truly ends. There is always another level, another lesson, another opportunity for growth waiting for you if you refuse to tap out when things get difficult. Sometimes persistence looks like dramatic, visible determination, but often it's quieter than that. It's showing up day after day when no one is watching. It's continuing to believe in possibilities that others can't yet see. It's doing the unglamorous work when Instagram isn't looking. Consider the collaboration between fitness trainer Jay Maxey and his client Tamika Green. Their journey, documented on TikTok, showcased this everyday kind of persistence. Both faced moments of frustration, slow progress, external pressure, the temptation to quit when results weren't immediate. But they made a crucial shift in perspective. Rather than fixating on perfection, they celebrated incremental wins. A 5-second longer plank, one more rep, a slightly faster mile. These small victories maintained motivation through inevitable setbacks. What began as a personal fitness journey inspired thousands online. Viewers who had given up on their own health goals found renewed hope watching two people refuse to surrender to temporary discomfort. The backstory makes their impact even more profound. Tamika began training after health scares threatened her future mobility. Jay brought empathy from his own fitness struggles. Together, they accomplished what once seemed impossible, running marathons and coaching others toward healthier lifestyles. Their story illustrates a powerful truth Tamika Brown emphasized. Growth comes through persistence, not perfection, not overnight success, just showing up again and again, especially when it would be easier not to. This principle applies universally. Whether you're building a business, healing a relationship, improving your health, or developing a skill transformation happens when you refuse to settle or give up in the face of adversity. But let's be honest, persistence is exhausting. There are days when continuing feels impossible. So, how do we sustain it? First, we must recognize that persistence doesn't mean never resting, it means never quitting. There's a crucial difference. Taking breaks to recharge isn't weakness, it's strategy. The marathon runner who never slows their pace will collapse before reaching the finish line. Strategic rest isn't quitting, it's the secret weapon of those who go the distance. Second, we need community. None of the stories I've shared feature solo journeys. Tamika had mentors. Tamika Williams built an audience that became a support system. Jay and Tamika Green had each other. Persistence may be an individual choice, but it's sustained through connection. We weren't meant to climb mountains alone. Third, we must celebrate progress, not just results. If your only definition of success is the final destination, the journey will feel endless and discouraging. But when you learn to find joy and pride in each step forward, persistence becomes sustainable. As Tamika Brown wisely noted, never give up on yourself. This isn't just motivational fluff, it's a profound recognition that you are worth the investment of your own belief. Life will test that belief repeatedly. People will question your dreams. Circumstances will conspire to make you doubt yourself. In those moments, remember Tamika Jones, creating opportunity where others saw only obstacles. Remember Tamika Williams turning vulnerability into strength. Remember Jay and Tamika Green proving that consistent effort yields results that once seemed impossible. Their stories aren't exceptional because these individuals possess superhuman qualities. They're powerful precisely because they showcase ordinary people who simply refuse to give up on themselves. I want to leave you with a challenge. Look at your life right now. Where have you been tempted to quit? What dream have you placed on the shelf because the path seemed too difficult? What version of yourself have you abandoned because transformation was taking too long? Today, I'm asking you to make a declaration, not to the world, but to yourself. Declare that giving up is no longer an option. Not because the journey will be easy, but because you deserve to discover what awaits on the other side of persistence. When you walk out of this room, I want you to write down one goal you've put aside because things got tough. This week, commit to taking at least one step forward toward achieving it. Then next week, take another and another. Because here's what I know for certain: the world needs your persistence. It needs your refusal to shrink, to settle, or to silence your dreams. It needs the gifts that only emerge when you keep going past the point where others would quit. Remember this: the moment you decide to stop quitting on yourself isn't just the moment your life transforms. It's the moment you begin transforming the world around you. So when that voice whispers, maybe this isn't for me, respond with the quiet determination that has powered every meaningful achievement in human history. Watch me. The path forward isn't always clear. Progress isn't always linear. But I promise you this: on the other side of persistence lies growth that will transform not just your circumstances, but who you are. Your persistence isn't just personal, it's revolutionary. Now go show the world what happens when giving up isn't an option.